Wide open sand bass, calico bass bite right here on the Native Sun.
All day, all morning.
That's angler Nick Ramirez on board the Native Sun out of 22nd Street Landing in beautiful San Pedro, California, with a wide open bass bite going on Friday morning. Some of the best local fishing in decades going on right now in Southern California. You owe it to yourself to get out.
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to this beautiful Saturday morning here in Surfside, California. It is a beautiful, gorgeous day. Not much wind here this morning. We'll talk about some windy weather offshore and talk about what that bluefin tuna is doing. And more Dorado, more and more yellowfin. We're seeing them, but are they biting? Channel Islands, the site of some incredible white sea bass fishing in previous days, but they've had some wind also. And the local bass fishing this year in SoCal is as good as I've seen it in decades. It has been phenomenal. You know what time it is, everybody. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friend. Oh, I don't know if I need that more for my throat or to wake me up this morning. In either case, it's great to be with you all here on this lovely Saturday morning. I hope you're doing well. Hope you are waking up to a gorgeous day wherever it is you are around this big world of ours. We hear from people in Taiwan and Mexico and Costa Rica, here in the United States. Everybody tuning in to the Friedman Adventures channel, and I really deeply appreciate that. Almost 600,000 views in the last 28 days, well over 10,000 subscribers now, and I owe that to you. Your constant support is deeply appreciated. Hey, if you get a chance, hit that like button. Share this video or any other one that you like with a friend. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there's breaking news or more content that you just need to know about. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and also we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Hey, it is truly great to be with you. I do want to mention a couple of things before we get in some exciting fishing reporting going on. Number one, Pat Whitaker is trying to get enough squid to get to Catalina and make sure you have it for tomorrow. He tried, but the weather out there has been really nasty. It's been windy and choppy, and Pat's been getting his brains kicked in up there in the Channel Islands. So hopefully that's going to settle down here very, very soon. We have a day and a half trip going on board the lovely Horizon out of H&M Landing in San Diego. You can jump on that one if you'd like. It goes August the 15th. I will be there to film the whole thing. To get on, I think there's 4 spots left, something like that. 619-985-5179. That's Captain Bill Wilkerson. Send him a text. He'll get you booked in on that great trip. Or you can go to Facebook and kind of scroll down and you'll find the Horizon trip. And there's a link there so you can jump on board with us all. All right, let's get into it because there's some exciting stuff going on. One thing, we'll go down south of the border, and there is a hurricane there in the eastern Pacific now, Hurricane Dora, which is kind of a small hurricane, but it was once a Cat 4. It just got downgraded a few months ago to a Cat 3. Still pretty powerful with sustained winds of about 125 miles an hour. And these warm El Nino-esque waters, those storms can get organized into hurricanes from tropical depressions or storms into hurricanes rather quickly. It looks like it's not going to come anywhere near Cabo, but it should push some more warm water up our way, and with it, Dorado, yellowfin, tuna, and who knows what else will be arriving in northern Baja and ultimately here in Southern California. I think it's all good, and it just represents what I've been telling you I think is going to happen this year. A great late summer, an incredible fall, and we'll push right through January 1st with these warm waters that this El Nino is going to produce. So we're watching that for you very, very closely. All right, down in Ensenada, the folks at Baja Fishing have been finding more and more flatheads. The bluefin tuna bite down that way has been tough, as you well know, but we are seeing an incredible amount of Dorado and yellowtail on the kelps. Some days they bite. Most of the time they've been finicky. Pretty typical for that early season flathead when it moves into our waters because, well, I don't know exactly why, but there's a time period, it seems like every single year, where you see tons of those fish and they just don't want to bite. It is so frustrating, and we're kind of in that time period, kind of in it, because we're seeing a lot, and they're not biting full speed, but there's enough around to provide some pretty good action down in that neck of the woods. And of course, locally there, we continue to see that big bonita, a lot of barracuda, great bass fishing out of Ensenada, Baja California Norte right now. It's been great around Punta Banda. Some pretty good bass fishing even out at the island, Todos Santos Island, and the rugged Baja coast in other direction also have some really good bass fishing. There's also been some sand bass in that neck of the woods, and I love to look down into Ensenada because not only do I love fishing down there, I really admire the pongeros down there, but it's a preview of what's to come for SoCal, and we are definitely starting to see more and more of that. More flatheads, more yellowfin tuna. They just need that light switch to pop on a little bit better and see that stuff bite even more. And that's a reminder to you all to fish lighter fluorocarbon when you get into one of those finicky type of bites where the fish are not biting that well. Choosing a hot bait, changing that bait regularly, and dropping your fluorocarbon down to about 25 pounds is such a great idea, and it will truly benefit you. When the guy next to you is catching a bunch of fish, most of the time it's because he's doing all of those things. And we love Opsin fluorocarbon, www.opsinusa.com. Put in FA at checkout, and you'll get a free gift from owner Greg Brown. All right, mixed scores now on our bluefin tuna. Some pretty darn good ones. I mean, the Pegasus had an absolute ripper bite out of Fisherman's Landing, fishing out on the outer areas. Ripper on 10 to 30-pound bluefin tuna. Got it done in a hurry. Limits, 2 fish per rod, not a problem. Went out, flew the kite, got a couple of big ones on the kite also. Then there's some clunker trips also. So it's kind of mixed right now. Part of it has been the weather, and that weather is starting to cooperate. It's going to be beautiful here Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, with some possible wind on Wednesday. We'll get to that in subsequent days. It's just that things are starting to look much better. That includes the Channel Islands also, where it's choppy and breezy, but it's going to get much nicer. Monday and Tuesday up there are going to be absolutely gorgeous. Here's a few scores for you. Pacifica, a 1.5-day trip. 23 guys, 5 Dorado, 2 bluefin tuna. We mentioned the Pegasus, they had a wide open trip. Full day trip, starting to see all of that Dorado and yellowfin tuna. Their tuna bites been really slow, and in general, boats that leave in the morning come back the same day. Out of San Diego have had some tough fishing here recently, but just starting to see this thing come together. The Grande had 20 Dorado, 9 yellowfin tuna. The Sea-Watch, 16 guys, 5 Dorado. So we're starting to head into the right direction, but still not there. Those trips have been slow and tough. That's when you're dropping that fluoro down. That's when you're choosing a good hot bait. You're doing that all the time anyway, but you're specifically fishing lighter line to get a bite on those kinds of trips. El Gato 2 is a yacht, and he only had 2 people on board, but heck, they ended up with 10 yellowfin tuna for limits and a bluefin to go along with it. The El Capitan had 20 Dorado and a yellowtail down there. So you can see that for those day trips like that are not offshore, you're starting to see that tropical stuff. And that's why that hurricane down below, Dora, is good news, pushing more warm water up the Baja coast. That all spells some very good fishing in our very near future. We're seeing it. It's just not on the bite yet. It will get going here very, very soon. I'll guarantee you that. All right. The San Diego, who typically fishes offshore on their full day trip, said, let's go to the islands. Let's give that a shot and see what happens. And they were rewarded with 30 yellowtail yesterday. A couple of barracuda to go along with it, a few bass, but most of those yellows were on the bite, fly line bait, working well. Some guys have had some success over there still on the dropper loop, but mostly surface iron and fly line bait at the Coronado Islands. So nice hit for the San Diego. Hopefully the islands will continue to produce the guys that have been going there anywhere from 10 to 40 yellows. So it's pretty good fishing. Everybody gets in their head this offshore thing and this bluefin thing, while the Coronado Islands are stone's throw away from Point Loma, are providing some pretty good action. Some boats up in the LA Orange County area getting a piece of that bluefin tuna. It's an easy range for overnight trips, day and a half trips, even better than that. El Dorado, 31 on the bluefin tuna. The Thunderbird, we told you yesterday morning when we came on the air for the morning briefing that the Thunderbird and Jeff Markham were already into some good fishing. They finish up with 49 on the bluefin tuna. The grade, again, like 15 to 40 pounds for the most part. Well, that 15 to 20 pound fish in there. So you can handle that fish easily with 25 pounds, and you'll get bit a lot more. So some pretty good stuff. And the weather, thank God, is starting to come down. We really need that because it was snotty out there around Tannerbank and San Clemente Island and surrounding areas for a little while, and that's finally starting to lay down. There is some nighttime fish being taken. It's been like 400 gram lures in that snotty weather. In most cases, however, it's 300 to 400 with 100-pound spectra, and 200-pound leaders is what I like to see you fish with. And it's been okay, not great. Some guys getting a really good piece of it, other guys not getting a shot at all, or trying, but not getting any bites. So that over nighttime fishing has been very hit and miss here recently. Looking at the islands, we talked about Todos Santos and the Coronado Islands and San Clemente Islands. Some guys go in there, pick off a few yellows, deal with the sea lions, which is a big problem over there. And man, they'll fight you tooth and nail for every single yellowtail you catch. So that is a problem. But good calico fishing, and there's plenty of rock fishing around if you want to do that. Our Channel Island white sea bass halibut bite was phenomenal a few days ago, but the wind has really screwed things up there. Pat Whitaker on the bait boat Mañana, as I said, is going to try to be at Catalina Island tomorrow. We'll keep you focused and in touch with that. He's still there. He's going to try to make more squid tonight and then be over at Cat, but he said the weather was really kicking his butt. He was getting sloshed around there pretty darn good. So hopefully we'll get back to some of that good fishing here very, very soon. Man, we talk local fishing in Ensenada. San Diego has not had this kind of a bass here. Calico, mostly sand bass. The local boats fishing out of San Diego have had phenomenal bass fishing, and it is not slowing down with the occasional big yellowtail and barracuda wandering around also, but it's been bass, and it has been absolutely fantastic. The admonition about the lighter line, if you need it, in most cases 20, 25 pounds, have been working. Chovies have been producing excellent fishing, and it can't get much better than it is right now. Great bass fishing down there in that neck of the woods. Oceanside, Dana Wharf's had some great local calico and sand bass fishing, occasional halibut, and that kind of a thing going on. Also, we get you up here to the Long Beach, San Pedro area in California, and boats from Newport Beach are up here fishing it also, and it is flat, awesome fishing. Check out the Monte Carlo. Great video, well edited video, and it just looks like so much fun as they are creaming the sand and calico bass on board the half-day boat Monte Carlo from 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California. 310-832-8304 if you'd like to get out and rock and roll on one of the fine boats out of 22nd Street Landing. They have been all over the fishing. It's been good dropper loop fishing with 2-ounce torpedoes, sometimes better than that, and a trophy. Man, you hit the bottom and you are on. It's like the old days again. It's so nice to see what's going on. Victory, great fishing. Native Sun, a great day with our great friend Nick Ramirez, who was all over the fish yesterday, having so much fun and doing such a great job. Nick, way to go. Thanks for being a Patreon member. Thanks for all your support from the very beginning. Nick, we love you, and so good to see you having such a great time on the Native Sun. Private boaters like our dear friend Danny Jackson. What a great family, man, out with his grandkids and great-grandkids, and they put the wood to the sand bass yesterday. It was fun fishing this calicos and sand bass. Just because I'm not mentioning one of the local boats here, Enterprise, City of Long Beach, Freelance, Western Pride, because I'm not mentioning does not mean they are not getting them. They are getting them. Really great fishing going on. Channel Islands, still some local sand bass and calico bass up there. Aloha Spirit with a little bit of everything yesterday. Island Spirit up there out of Ventura has been picking at the bass, sand, and calico. Some excellent barracuda fishing that time. Bring your surface iron for sure. The weather way offshore there around Rosa and other islands. It's a little rough right now, but as I say, we're looking down the barrel now of a great Sunday. Don't forget, kids fish free, 12 years and under with a paid adult on board the California out of Ventura Harbor. Sport Fishing 805-676-3474. Up there in Santa Barbara, we continue to see great rock fishing for the Coral Sea and the Stardust. They've been all over it. They've had their shots also of sea bass and halibut up there in that neck of the woods when they turn their attention to it. But when they focus on rockfish, it's really good, and they've had a great year on that. Great corvina fishing going on here. Remember, those fish are right up there in that short water. A foot or two of water, you'll see the backs come out of the water. Fishing with 6-pound test and a sandworm or a sand crab is a great way to take these corvina. They're a lot of fun. And there's also yellowfin croaker in the surf right now. We see a few halibut also in the surf. Some spotfin croaker. It's really good surf fishing up and down our coast right now. And it just doesn't want to get any better than it is right now. Marcelo and Gabriel Samaniego with great spotted bay bass fishing. Good job, Marcelo. It was great to see you at the Orange County Fair the other day. Really nice stuff going on. Don't forget, we're also on the El Patron on September the 15th. That's going to be a fun trip. Hope to see you on that one. Almost sold out on that. And also, very few spots left on board the Horizon. Captain Bill Wilkerson, send him a text right now. Like, share, subscribe, tick the bell, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. All my thanks to you for your great support. It can't get any better than it is right now. Thank you so much. A lot to cover. Weather's coming down, so that's good. That hurricane's going to shove more warm water up in this direction. Here come the yellowfin and the Dorado and so much more. And aren't we due for another albacore? I think so. We should catch one today. Stay tuned. We'll see if somebody can come up with one. Maybe somebody can actually come up with a stop for 3 or 4 or 5 or 50. Wouldn't that be something? I would love to see that. And there's enough cool water offshore where that is still viable. I know we're talking El Nino. We're talking Eastern Pacific hurricanes. We're talking Dorado and yellowfin tuna. Some of you are saying, well, what's the chance? A lot of that cool water is still offshore. Somebody pokes their nose out there, like Jim Hughes, Rambo on the Cortez. He pokes his nose out there. He's likely to find one because Jim knows exactly where those things live and how to catch them. Have a great day. And as always, I hope to see you really, really soon, my friends.